it's Liz here, and it's Mixed Media Monday. So I have chosen this week the girly book using the journal Girls by ZinskiArt, full of drawings of cool girls. And I have chosen this one this week, Coffee Girl. So this is the book. It's an altered book, an old second-hand book, and I just glue a few pages together and put some washi down the middle just to keep the little, sometimes there's a little gap in the pages in the spine. So yeah, last week's Life is Too Short to Be Anything But Happy with our vegetables. And now that I see it, I had a lovely comment saying I had missed out her eyes, and indeed I have. So let's just put that right now and give her some nice blue eyes. Just quickly with a wee coloured pencil. Just to finish her off. There we are, all blue eyes. Right, so that was last, I don't know it was last week, because I think last week we did the bigger ledger journal, but this was the last time we had a play in this journal. This one, I like this one. Actually, I quite like them all in this journal. I think they've all turned out really well. There's not many pages left. There couldn't have been many pages in this book because I haven't torn that many out, and I just glue like 3 pages together each time, so I think it must have been quite a thin book. So we'll maybe get about 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5. Anyway, it doesn't matter, we'll deal with that. We'll just start a new book for the rest of the ladies. So yeah, so we'll just set this aside for now. And I have this. So it's coffee themed. So I've dug out all my coffee bits. I have this set of stamps, which are kind of coffee stains. Yes, coffee stains, Glow Bland. It's just a cheap Amazon one. So I've got that. I also have some bits of scraps of patterned paper, leftover bits. This is from these Wanna Play collage pages. There's no more information on that, but I ordered this on Amazon, and that's just a few scrap bits that I've got left from a previous project that I can just maybe tear up and use in the background. But the main background I've got is papers from, I at one point did a coffee journal in a traveller's notebook years ago, and it was recording all the coffee pages we used to go to, or we went to visit, and we would do a wee photograph and do a wee write up, and in a traveller's notebook. I should have dug it out for you to show you. Anyway, these are the leftover. I've only got a couple of sheets left and a few bits and bobs and some of the ephemera. It was Echo Park, and it was just simply called Coffee. So Echo Park coffee. I had it a long time. I'm not sure that it's still available, and that is one of the reasons I don't write down in the description box. I also got a comment saying, could I please write in the description box the names of all the things? Well, sometimes and oftentimes I'm using old things that just won't be available anymore. But at the same time, I always say on the video, and I try to remember the names of the things that I'm using. So, you know, to write them out as well takes a wee while. And yeah, if I've got time after each video, I will write out the products that I've used, but I'm not sure that I can promise to do it every time. I'd rather make videos than spend my time typing out. Yeah, she's cute, isn't she? So I've cut these 2 pieces to size from that scrapbook paper. Oh, and I've got this as well, also from the Eco Park, and I thought this might be quite nice because it kind of echoes the cup that she's got. So we'll see, we've got plenty to use. Now, do I want that on that side? Now let's see what side we want our girly on. I think we'll have her on this side this week. Last week she was on that side. Let's do this side. And will she be better on the dark or the pale? I think she might be better on the dark. So I'm happy with that. Let's glue this up. So yes, I did reply to the person, to the commentator who had said, could I please write out all the things that I use, and I did say, look, you know, I can't promise, I'll try my hardest, but sometimes it's just time, and I'd rather have playtime than writing time. I was going to call it school time because it's work time. It sort of feels like that when you're typing it all up. And it's like, oh, but then I thought, oh, maybe that should be part of it. Maybe the other side of that's cute as well, isn't it? Maybe when you've got a YouTube channel, you should spend more time writing things up, and I don't know. For me, when I'm watching, and I watch quite a lot of channels, I like to see, and I've actually very rarely go into the description box. I don't know. You can let me know what you think. This is, I mean, I've had my channel now for, maybe 4 or 5 years. And no one has ever said it before about not putting things in the description box. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's do this next. Let's cut this out and then we'll give her a colour in once, because I want to decide what colour is going to blend with, you know, the bits that I'm using. So let's just, isn't cutting into nice scrapbook paper a good sound? Oh, I love that noise. Right, so let's just get this. Because I might actually use pink because of this pink straw, and I think there's quite a lot of pink as well in these bits of scrap that I've picked out, so that's quite helpful in picking the colours that we're going to use to colour in our girly. Right, so we've got this. Right, let's colour in her first. that safely to the side. And I've got my pencils and my little water dish. And of course, first of all, before we do that, we need to give her a little coat of gesso. I forgot about that. I'll need to go and get that. Okay, so I'm back with my transparent gesso, Pebeo. There's the make here. And I'll just give her a quick going over. This doesn't take long to dry. I don't put it on thick. There we go. I think that's pretty much covered. Yep. Okay, so we'll just let that dry. Right. We'll let that dry and we will move on. Instead of colouring her in just now, we will see how we are going to add a little bit of colour to our background. Right, maybe tear off. You can use that nice corner there. That's quite nice there. Just to take away from the maybe that bit there. Right, let's stick those two bits down. And then we'll see where we are. Just build up a background. I'm not sure that we'll add too much paint or things, stenciling or anything to this one. I think we'll just stick with paper and some of those coffee rings. That's hubby and Millie back from their little coffee outing in the morning. They go off out some mornings. I'm like, no, I want to stay in and get my video done. And they go off out. Right, so we're going to have, she's a wee bit dry. We're going to have her cut out. Maybe there in there. So we maybe do need, or maybe we'll put that over there and just give her centre stage there. So maybe we do want another bit here. I'm going to do it more diagonal, just to kind of fit in with that bit there. Yeah, that's quite nice. And then that will sit somewhere. Right, let's do this bit. I'm trying to get ahead today, so this is Monday morning and it's not even 11 o'clock in the morning yet, because I want to try and get ahead with my videos. I don't normally I'm just as and when and it gets published, and I try to do a little bit of crafty daily and just do the videos on a day-to-day, but this week is a very busy, exciting week. My brother and my sister-in-law. Right, that's dry, so we'll leave that aside. Let's pop that on the top to remind us that we want to put some of them on. Yes, my brother and my sister-in-law are home. Well, not home. Home is New Zealand to them, but they're here in Glasgow for almost a week, I think. They just arrived this morning, and we'll be seeing them later and meeting up a few times. And yeah, so there will be less crafty time for sure while they're here. So they're here for a week. It's sticking to my fingers because I've got glue. Yes, they're here for a week and then they move on to London for a couple of days, and then they're doing a kind of European tour and a cruise. So they're actually away from New Zealand for golly, about I think 5 weeks or so. So these are Inktense Derwent, D-E-R-W-E-N-T, Inktense pencils. They're watercolour pencils, and what I'm doing here is I'm just want to make up a little bit of skin colour. So I'm just using my kind of brown and, now what is it, tan and brown. Yep. And that looks okay. Yep. And I like to start off with a kind of realistic colour, and then, you know, add as we go along a kind of mixed media feel. I think that might be a shoulder. Yes, because there's her blouse down there. She's very trendy, a wee off the shoulder. And that cup will be see-through, won't it? So we'll give that there. Yeah. Because that's a bit of a blouse there. Right. So let's think, what colours were in that? Very pink. Pinky purple. So we'll go for this. Let me just get very loose. We're going to be cutting round this, so we can just do that nice and loose, and then we'll maybe add, we can always add more. Smudge that a wee bit there. We can lift that up with a dry brush. There we are. And let's see, what colour blouse would that be? Let's do a nice green, why not? just as a nice bright contrast. And I mustn't forget her eyes today. Oh, and I've forgotten her fingers already. There's more skin, and I rubbed my skin off my palette. Anyway, we can easily make up more. That's a wee bit wet. Just try and lift up a bit there. There we are. Just try and give that a little bit of a fade. Right, let's think. What other colours have we got? A nice orange. Let's add, ooh, we have a spillage. Not too bad. Okay, orange. Little bits here, I think. And then in our blouse that's underneath. In fact, that will be that colour as well. And let's do that straw. Let's get a little bit of red on the go. I think we'll do a cup red. Now, will that be coffee in there, or will that be, how are we going to do that see-through bit? I think to do see-through, we'll use some grey and just do a kind of light, very pale, kind of, just to signify that it's clear. Yeah. Right, now she needs coffee colour. Oh, and she'll have nail polish as well. And her eyes. Mustn't forget her eyes. Let's give her the pink. Here's a purple that will blend, I think, with that pink colour. Yeah, just add a little bit of the darker, and we'll give her if you want darker with these pencils, you can go directly on and then just add your brush with the water, and it actually gives you nice darker bits. And then we'll just use a kind of dry brush just to blend that in a wee bit. Right, I think we'll give her purple. blue eyes. Don't forget the eyes. There we are, and I think maybe our face just needs a little bit of blush. Let's give her a little bit of colour. Not to make her a clown, but just to kind of So the neighbours told us that they're getting new flooring in today, and there might be some hammering and some noise. So far so good, but it might delay my hopefully second video of the day later. Right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm quite happy with that. Little bits of purple here maybe. Yeah, I'm going to let that dry. Tidy away the water before we have another accident. Okay. Right, so what stage were we at? And we'll trim round that when it's dry. And we've got to imagine her being here. So these, I think, let me just look for my, there we are, and we will need an acrylic block, there it's there. So this is VersaFine Vintage Sepia, and we'll just, I think, do some, I don't know how much this will show up on the black there, but we might be able to do some over here. Now, she's going to be there. So she's going to be there. I think we'll just put that there instead of bang in the middle. I think we'll put it in a nice corner. So let's put this down before we do our coffee rings, our stains. Another way. Okay. And then we can see we can incorporate that. Oh yes, yes, I'm liking that. And maybe one off the page here a wee bit. Let's here we are. And maybe one or two up there. We'll do one more of these and then we'll swap over. another one. This one with the broken bits is quite good, isn't it? And then maybe one here. And then I think that will be enough. And of course we'll maybe try and do, I'm not sure about giving our girly, it's nearly dry. I'll just carefully, because the water, I did use quite a lot of water and it's made it quite fragile. But I'm sure, oh, I've missed her ears. Do you know what? I'm just going to cut her ears off. And we'll just say, well, her ears are behind her hair there. And I'm sure that didn't hurt. So my brother will be lucky with the weather. It's actually been such a nice spring here. Unusually, I can't even think the last time we had rain. It's been, now having said that, it's a wee bit cold today, but it's blue sky. I mean, it's not wind and it's not rain, so we're always glad. When it's not windy and it's not raining, we take it as a nice day. But it's actually been really nice. We've been sitting out at places, you know, at coffee shops, and yesterday we had a pizza at the local Italian sitting outside. It was lovely. Now, I think I do see, because she's got a flat edge, I think I do need her down there. Yes, it definitely needs to be there. So let's get her stuck down. Glue. So they landed in Edinburgh and picked up a hire car and drove through to Glasgow. It's about 45 minutes in the car. And they're now at their Airbnb in the city centre. So we're meeting up with them tomorrow. I think today they're having a wee bit of a rest day and they're meeting my sister-in-law's sister, who still lives here as well. So yeah, and then they've got a busy week ahead. We're meeting them tomorrow morning, and then we're meeting them for dinner on Wednesday. So that'll be nice. I think we'll maybe do one here, one or two. Yeah, it shows up a little bit on the black. This is a good coffee colour, isn't it? This vintage sepia. I'll do one off the page. Yeah, overlapped it a wee bit, being a bit fancy. Maybe one over here, see if that works. Well, a wee bit. Yeah, I think that's us today. What do you think? got, let me guess, I don't want to use too much of these kind of modern type pieces, but there might be something in here that can maybe go in our hair or something wacky. I've only got a few of these left because I know I used them up. I don't know what that's supposed to be. There's a hello there. I like big cups and I cannot lie. That's quite fun, isn't it? Messy bun, coffee run. I'm not sure, excuse me, because we've got this over here that says things. If I could cut, but we've already got it. Well, what about just some washi up there? What about if we picked out some pink? I don't have pink. I've got this handy. I've got this handy, and I've got my yellowy. No, that doesn't go. That's not the right colour. So a bit of pink in that. I would need to get my big box down with all the different colours. But apart from that, I've got these ones handy. Oh, maybe that one, maybe that one. Because all my coloured ones are in a big box high up. This might be quite nice actually. Yes. If we could do a mix. I'm thinking a bit of this. And maybe a little bit of this. This needs cut. Where did I put the scissors? Because that won't tear. There. Right, and I think to balance that out, we're going to need to put a little bit down here. Which one was it? This one? I'm always very careful at putting that up a little bit because it is an absolute nightmare to find the end again. Yeah, I think that does give it a final flourish. What do we think? Yeah, I'm liking that one. So yeah, nice coffee page. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.